Okay, guys, we have Matt here, who's a professional guide here in Australia, and he's going to tell you and speak on the misconception of snake in Australia. Matt, let us know, what is the two most misconceptions about snakes in Australia?
Yeah, perfect. Well, I think number one is that when you're walking anywhere, that you're going to see them everywhere, and that's definitely not the case. While snakes are out here in the environment, it's less common for us to see them than not. Snakes are not that interested in us. That if you wait, they're more than likely going to head off. I think the second one is that people are worried that if they're bitten, that's the end, that there's no chance to, recover. And that's definitely not the case either. It's quite rare for people to die in Australia from a snake bite, and if they did, it was probably through poor information and the incorrect snake bite treatment. Treating a snake bite is super simple. Number one, remain really calm. The snake venom travels in the lymphatic system, so if we're not moving, we're not pumping that venom. So one, we've got lots of time. A compression bandage on the site and the limb that it applies, and obviously seeking further medical attention. But number one, remain calm, remain seated, and you'll be fine.
Now, also, you hear lots of people and travelers have that fear about spiders. Can you give us some insight on what are the likelihoods of getting bit by a spider, and how and what does that look like for a traveler that's not familiar with that process?
Yeah, absolutely. So spiders, they are everywhere. You're going to have a better chance of seeing spiders because they do come into our place of living a little more often. Largely speaking, there's a couple of, the more dangerous species of spiders, but still, as a healthy adult, it's unlikely to be more damaging than make you quite sick. Having said that, it's still quite rare to be bitten by some of the more dangerous spiders in Australia, the Sydney funnelweb or the redback spider. But you'll see them around. They're pretty easy to avoid. Honestly, the big scary looking ones that you see a lot in Australia, the most common ones is called a huntsman, and they can get to the size of the palm of your hand, but they're actually harmless. You can leave them away. Ask any Australian to get rid of it for you. They'll probably happily pick it up and throw it outside.
So you're saying this big huntsman spider cannot harm you at all?
Correct, it's harmless.
Awesome. All right, so if you had any tips for someone that's coming to Australia with these fears, what would you say to them?
I think, honestly, if someone's coming to Australia and they have a genuine fear about snake bites, have a quick look up on YouTube, snake bite first aid. It's a super simple thing to protect against in terms of just wearing pants when we're out in an area if we were walking off trail. But in the unlikely event that you did get bitten, the first aid treatment is quite simple, and it's around having a suitable compression bandage and knowing the emergency number for. But once you have that emergency bandage on and you're not moving, you have a lot of time to get to further first aid. And quite often, not always, quite often the snake bite's first bite is a warning bite where they don't actually inject venom. So we still treat as though they did. But yeah, I would just look up. Just be educated, but it's unlikely. It's a very unlikely issue.
Well, we want to thank Matt for giving us his expert information and what it means to travel here in Australia. Thank you, Matt.